London, 1872. Welcome to Let's Play. I've entered into the service of a new gentleman, it would seem. He is a gambling man. This is how this game seeds. First of all, welcome. This is Diego here.
This is Tennessee here.
We are playing, will become apparent, 80 Days. The run-based semi-proc-gen visual novel. Credits rolling here.
It's like Arabian Nights.
Yeah. But one of the things that... so, Tennessee, you have not played this game, correct?
Yeah, I've only heard of this game. Had another friend who was like, yo, we should play this together.
It's good. I've not played many runs of it. So I'm not like an expert at it. But I've played enough to know how these systems work. One of the things that I find very interesting is getting maps is very key. But as you may have noticed by our snazzy new intro, this isn't some normal playthrough. We're coming here with a purpose, with a goal, with a challenge. And the challenge is not just get around the world in 80 days. That's a beginner's challenge. I know I just hit the begin button there, but it's not for beginners. I know I said Tennessee has never played this game before, but it's not for beginners. Our goal is to go around the 80 days in a world, passing through the South Pole. It's very exciting.
Now, do you know that this is possible?
I've been through the North Pole, so I know that things that don't often seem possible are. And there's a flavor to this game that I think you'll find pretty quickly, and you'll find quite enjoyable. So we are playing as Passepartout, the faithful servant of I think it's just labeled as Vern here. My master returned home from the Reform Club with a strange gleam in his eye. Passepartout, he said, we are going around the world. Pack an altimeter and my evening jacket. There's not a moment to waste. You are Passepartout. You, Passepartout, now have funds. So now we have money.
New routes discovered.
Mm-hmm. So we can pack. So we can take things. And these occasionally have things that are of benefit to them. Sometimes, for example, this is part of an air traveler set, and the air traveler set altogether gives some bonus. Or maybe we end up selling this later if we need some money. We have currently wool trousers and a woolen shirt, of which this is the last piece of the set. So now we have the full set of our Englishman wardrobe. Do you want to pick what we're taking with us?
Yeah, what's the wax cylinder? You haven't gone over that.
That is a inscribed with markings describing the recording of a symphony. So this is an audio recording, and says, oh golly, valuable in Vienna, Paris, and Venice.
Playing cards are suboptimal. We need, I think, the European shipping timetable.
I agree.
Come
on, work with me, controller.
Wait a minute. The European shipping timetable has a T in it, but so do trousers, shirts.
Oh, are we
jacket.
Are we leaving everything with a T?
That's also on the list of common letters.
Diego, do you know the most common letters in the English language?
RSTLE.
RST. It's RL sign.
Yeah.
So that's from least to most common. You decided to move from R because the first stop is Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And you moved over to T, which is more common.
Yep.
And I want to propose that we maybe do something that is slightly less common than that.
How about...
Can we do K?
So no cities with a K in it.
Yes.
Okay. South Pole and no cities with a K in it are our...
Yeah, so let's do K. So no
right.
pocket altimeter. Let's do the wax cylinder.
Oh, so you're going with items also with these letters.
I think it would be funny.
Alrighty. No evening jacket.
Jacket. Oh, yep.
And,
Playing cards. Okay.
playing cards is good. Alrighty.
Okay, so the guy's name is Fog.
Right. Fog. I think it's Vern Fog. Maybe Fog Vern. See, look at all these routes that open up because of we took these timetables. But these are all north. So I can hit B, and that'll take me a bit to this sort of overworld here. So I can zoom out. So we can see some of the cities that we know, and some of the routes that we know. So we know Nice or Nice to Rome. And maybe from there we can try to go to Tunis, or maybe if we sort of keep going down around towards Athens and Izmir, sort of go down the Nile that way.
Well, then we'd hit Khartoum, so we're gonna have to figure something out from there. But I think we might be able to do it.
I love this. This is a good. So first, of course, we want to go to Paris, right? Because Cambridge takes us north.
Yeah.
Again, both with R's. Arrives tomorrow, so we can hit that. We want to depart to Paris.
Yeah.
Embark. Departing
So
now.
I think it's very cool that you are playing as his, like, manservant.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this game, actually, or about Around the World in 80 Days either. Like, I don't know about who Passepartout is. But knowing Jules Verne, he's probably a dude from, I don't know, India, but referred to in a way that might make us cringe these days, you know?
Yeah. It's a French name, but he's played by... Do you ever see the Around the World in 80 Days movie from the mid-aughts? Oh, golly gee. Did I lose Tennessee? The real challenge mode is the internet.
What happened?
I don't know. Luckily, the time has not passed. We leap aboard the 825 from Charing Cross. As the final whistle shrieks its warning, our journey had begun. Let's converse with the old... Oh, this is Jules Verne. This is what I had mistaken.
Play everyone who's not Fog.
Greetings, Monsieur Verne.
Passepartout, did you say your name was? What a curious appellation.
Monsieur Verne, ask Monsieur Verne about Paris. I'm sure you know all about Paris.
I love the smell of the Seine in the morning.
Okay, so we can ask about Paris to Zurich, Paris to Cambridge, Paris to Nice. Nietzsche. How's about this?
Let's ask him.
Is there a route from Paris to Nice to 69?
Indeed. I knew a woman who used to work aboard the Pyrenees Express from Paris to Nice.
Oh. Well, we know about it to Rome.
Ask about Nice?
I can. Tell me more about Nice.
I've heard that some buyers will pay well for wax cylinders inscribed with music from Nice. Now tell me, what is this journey of yours?
Is it trouble or wager?
Trouble.
It's trouble. A dreadful bother, monsieur, in truth.
80 days of it as well. Why 80, I wonder?
It's a great question. Let's see if there's a route to Tunis. Is it possible to go from Nice to Tunis?
I would not hold out too much hope, monsieur.
Alrighty. Let's ask one more. How about, we can't ask Dubrovnik because there's a K in there. Let's ask to Luxor.
Did you know the most efficient way to Luxor from here is to go by a Thessaloniki?
Oh, we can't go to Thessaloniki. The AMPHITRITE Express rattled along narrow-gauge rails to Dover, where its fins extended and plunged directly into the channel. Monsieur Fogg made no remark as the dark water pressed against our windows. I thought it so marvelous at the time, but how many marvels were still to come? You see, time is passing. We can check our bags. We do have a wax cylinder. Ooh, we splash upon the rails at Calais, and close the remaining miles to Paris-Gare du Nord. I'm just not going to pronounce half of it.
Paris-Gare du Nord.
Yeah, I trust you with the French more than me, monsieur. It seems Monsieur Fogg said The Orient Express is now open through the Alps to Venice. Found the Orient Express.
Whoa! Okay. The AMPHITRITE Express. So is this game steampunk? Like, is this science fiction?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is steampunk. Let's go to the market.
I saw that it had fins. So.
Do we want to sell anything?
The wax cylinder is valuable here, right?
Let's sell it.
Yeah, we're gonna need some fucking money.
Okay. Do we want to buy anything? We can buy spices. We can buy all the things here. Well.
So here's the thing. Do you figure we're gonna have to reach the South Pole through South Africa?
I think so.
Okay. Let's look for stuff that would be valuable there, I guess. Hand mirror? Valuable where?
Valuable in Nice, where we're going next.
Cool.
And we have space for the perfumed oils, or we don't have to.
Let's grab the perfumed oils.
All right.
We might have a skill check for it.
Excuse me, controller. Excuse me.
Oh, you're getting controller drift again.
I'm getting controller drift.
Very cool. I really like how the actual mechanics of this game are that you are the minder of this rich asshole and like you're kind of trying to maintain his money.
Yeah. Oh, I decided to explore, and that has found new routes.
Whoa! Okay.
The Exposition Universelle sprawled over the grounds of the purpose-built Palais du Champ de Mars. Hot air balloons sailed gently across the sky in the powdery light of the Yablochkov candles gleamed invitingly. Either I was flooded with memories of the siege of Paris and my own small part in it, I suppressed my memories of the siege and visited the Exposition, or the memories of the siege were too painful and I stayed locked up in my room.
Visited the Exposition.
Alrighty.
No time for trauma. We're Chads.
I headed towards the red and purple tents of the Artificers Guild. I took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations, or I went westward to the airship hangar.
Airship hangar.
Past a booth with a husband and wife pair selling panoramic hot air balloon rides to eager tourists. I inquired as to their hourly rate, or their hangar was crowded with airships.
The second.
With airships and flying vehicles of all shapes and sizes attended by sharp-eyed crews from all over the world, and my eye was immediately caught by the African-made rigid metal balloon, the gilded Egyptian Ifrit class airship, the metal-clad four-propeller Savkar Atmotic, the bulky coal gas-powered Ottoman Gayik, we can't use that,
Yeah.
the twin-bladed Peruvian gyrocopter.
I'm interested in a twin-bladed Peruvian gyrocopter or an Ifrit-class airship.
Oh. I picked the first one that you said. I also am interested in the twin-bladed Peruvian gyrocopter, which looked tiny and flimsy in comparison with the airships surrounding it. They say the Incas invented the first gyrocopter, boasted a dark-haired pilot, pushing her goggles up to give me a wink. As their heirs, we Peruvians have made some few improvements. It seemed extremely unlikely, or you do not see many Peruvian gyrocopters in the air.
I just want to say it's extremely cool, the idea of thinking of themselves as an heir to something.
Yeah. It took me a second to figure out which heir you were talking about.
You do not see many Peruvian gyrocopters in the air, as different from the hair.
I remarked. Are they unsafe? The lady shook her head. No, they are quite safe, but they are quite hard to build. Perhaps one day soon, Monsieur Fogg and I would find ourselves flying in such a craft. Jesus Christ. I returned to the exposition. This is the worst it's been ever. I returned to the exposition center. Yeah.
No worries.
My thoughts turning with clouds and engine rotors. Avenues sprawled in every direction between the inviting illuminated pavilions of the exposition. I headed towards the red and purple tents of the Artificers Guild. I took a stroll down the Avenue of Nations. I decided to take my leave. I think it's the end of the day. I think we should take our leave and be ready to travel for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 8:30. I'm so fucking old that I think that's like, oh god, that's late.
And I returned to Monsieur Fogg, who was eating a meal of plain boiled beef à lasagna. Ah, lasagna. Did you enjoy the exposition? My master inquired diffidently, as though I had been out visiting an aged great-aunt, having preferred a hearty meal and an English newspaper, and I nodded.
Fuck this guy. Do the first.
As though I had been out visiting an aged great-aunt rather than witnessing all the wonders that the modern world had to offer. Nothing else could possibly impress me now. We are unspeakably lucky to live in such an age of invention. Will we travel by airship, do you suppose? I like that airship one, because we were just looking at air stuff.
I bet it unlocks because of that.
I think it highly likely, he replied. They are expensive, but extremely fast. I dreamed that night of mechanical wonders and automatons with beautifully enameled faces, knowing little of the strange inventions and stranger people I would soon encounter in my journey around the world.
Here's the interesting thing I'm running into while we are doing this, is that we're going to Nice, I believe, right?
Yeah. We could also go to Venice. Venice could take us to Athens, which would take us to Izmir, which would take us to Antalya. We could go sort of south that direction.
Nice way to get onto the other side of the Mediterranean. Let's do Venice. The thing I'm running into with a lot of visual novels and IF games, I've been noticing watching Wooly play 13 Sentinels and now Disco Elysium.
It departs tomorrow.
Is that because the gameplay is reading, there's no downtime where we are able to converse about what is happening in the game.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I think it's really interesting that we are determining how Passepartout and how Fog are acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I like that only Monsieur Fogg's health is visible.
Yeah. We will be comfortable here, Monsieur Fogg remarked, but traveling overnight will be more efficient. Where possible, we cannot travel where it is not possible, certainly, he replied. Still, the surrounds of the Hotel Ritz were most enjoyable. We waited overnight because this route did not depart... Where are we going? Venice?
Yeah.
Rise tomorrow. We can embark.
Yes.
Oh, with plenty of money to spare. You see, there's a different... When construction began on the great pan-European railway from Paris to Istanbul, no one believed that it could be completed, let alone completed so fast.
What the fuck are earth workers? Hit it.
But with the earth workers cutting through the fields.
Do they mean a person, or do you mean, like, fucking mechs?
That's a great question. Is this, like, bionicle boxers?
I've got kind of the bionicle look, yeah.
With the earth workers cutting through the fields and the steam layers rolling track behind them, the whole route was open in less than 6 months, and the Compagnie Internationale de Wagon Lits. These wagons lits.
Do you want to just tap me for everything French, because we're getting a lot and I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I mean it's Jules Verne.
Compagnie Internationale de Wagon Lits.
Turned its attention south, creating the line through the Alps to Italy and beyond. The tunneling was so fast that Monsinus, pronounced like penis,
Monsigny,
was left empty, or I cursed them their speed.
I cursed them their speed. That's very interesting.
Such a terrible journey as this one would be impossible if we had to go over the Alps. Way to converse.
Yeah, converse. This is also, I'm really glad that we're watching this now, because what the fuck is Alexandre Dumas here? And wasn't Alexandre Dumas black?
I have no clue.
Hang on. Well, okay, here's the other thing. He's a guard, so it's not Alexandre Dumas. Just after talking to Jules Verne, I was...
Yeah.
For a second. No, Dumas is just a last name that's French.
Speaking of boats, I understand one can sail by fisherman's boat from yours. Those have two X or K's. We can't. We'll have to say sorry to. We'll have to say sorry to Sonny because we can't go to.
Anywhere in Russia, basically.
Yeah. Is it possible to travel from Athens to Alexandria?
Ooh. Ask about Alexandria a little bit.
Yeah. Tell me more about Alexandria. What is? Did you know that the fastest way to Alexandria is here through Izmir? Oh. Are we passing through Izmir? I think we might be.
We might be.
Oh, do we want some wine? Wine?
Yes.
Why not?
Very well, but do not tell him the vintage. It is appalling. I'm really glad we're playing this now because it was just April, and like every April 1st, people make a bunch of insincere visual novel parodies, partially because those are some of the easiest games to make a minimum viable product out of for like a playable April Fool's Day gag, but also because visual novels and interactive fiction, a difference that doesn't really matter, are jokes, and it is very cool that we're getting to play this instead. Have you heard that collectors in Muscat will
They'll pay a fine price for stuff over there in Vladivostok.
Well,
train was swift as the racing clouds. Do we go to the bar?
And then went to the bar. Let's be independent. Let's be as independent as possible.
Intending to meet a few fellow passengers and see what I could discover, the hour was still early and the candlelit compartment was empty, but for a severe-looking lady reading a newspaper.
Greeted her cordially.
And she lowered her paper to regard me with cool, level eyes. Yes, monsieur?
My name is Passepartout, and I am going around the world.
Very good, Passepartout. She waved a hand. Off you go.
I noted she did not have a drink.
A fact which she could not deny and which I gallantly rectified before she proceeded to ignore me behind her newspaper. Ah, well, I entertained myself well enough.
Gazing out of the window as my beloved homeland flickered past?
But the evening we would have reached the foot of the mountains. By the evening, we would have reached the foot of the mountains. By tomorrow, we would be in Italy. Really good? Or good?
Great food and beautiful people.
Did you see that one clip of it was a clipped out PragerU video with whoever I think it might have been Dennis Prager himself.
Guy who kind of looks like Roger Ebert.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Dennis Prager.
Speaking, rhetorically as other people, rhetorically as some quote-unquote bad guy, about Italy, being like, and, every country should exist except for Italy. But I saw this pass by my feed by my friend who's on his way towards becoming a comedian, who is Italian, being like, listen, it's true, you didn't have to say it, though.
There's an edit of those like fucked up status effects you can get in Darkest Dungeon that just says Italian.
We drank, and our relationship with our with our master improved.
Is he our master? Our boss?
Our
He's used the term manservant for us.
Yeah,
so...
I think master is the I'll say timely one, and I don't think in terms of jobs, I don't think we are saying the wrong thing here.
Now, Diego, I don't know about you, but if I had servants, I would actually love if they called me boss.
I get you.
Like if you ask for something, they'd be like, "You got it, boss."
You just need to be, you just gotta have good enough friends who will call you boss without you owning the means of production.
There's a VTuber who's, I think his gimmick might be that he's like a cat boy, but he's also a mafia don, and his fans call him boss.
Which is the more independent route here, oversleeping or walking along the length of the train?
Length of the train. Passepartout, our Passepartout at least, has been very mobile. Full of energy.
Only to find my great puzzlement seemed somewhat shorter than I had the night before. Indeed, I could no longer find the bar carriage anywhere between first and second class.
They took the carriage!
Most curious event, but probably unimportant, or asking a guard.
Ask a guard. We have to know.
He seemed quite genuinely surprised. We had no bar aboard the Orient Express, monsieur, he declared with a deep authoritarian seriousness. We did not serve any alcohol on board. But I had a pleasant
cognac just last night.
I protested. We do not restrict passengers' luggage, the guard replied, misunderstanding me. But we will not serve it. We've been a dry train since being bought by the Society of Friends. Apparently, he added with a whisper, they made the money for the purchase by selling chocolate. I could not argue, though the matter was far from settled. I do not believe I am given to delusions.
The woman who would corroborate.
I resolved to find the woman who would corroborate my story, but despite haunting the corridors of the train for several hours, I saw no sign of her. Perhaps she had disappeared along with the bartender? A few hours later, we arrived in Venice Station, built on the mainland but connected to Venice proper by a long, flexible floating bridge. We disembarked and flagged a rickshaw to carry us across the uneasy waters of the lagoon. As we left the station, I saw, for a fleeting moment, the woman from the bar, but then she was gone.
Fuck.
Seems there will be no departures today. We should explore it a little bit.
Yeah, we came in at a good time.
Yep. Is there anything here that sells well?
You're going over it too fast, and my feed has a very low frame rate. So that's your decision.
Let's see, the hand mirror sells okay. It's valuable in Budapest and Bucharest. I don't think we're going to go through any of those, so I don't need that. Do we want a wind scarf for the dusty road set? A Panama hat for the warm climate gear set? Or we can't get a monkey wrench, nor a mask.
Not?
They got K's on them.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say it could be an excellent bludgeon.
I think we are close to going onto a dusty road, and so I would think that the scarf would be a good one for it.
We can skip descriptions, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Oh, the perfumed oils here is in gold? Why is this in gold?
It says.
Oh, I think it's because it's just a thing to be bought and sold, as opposed to anything we could do something with.
Do items expire?
I don't. Oops. This goddamn. I've been charging one of my other ones, so I think this is a good time to go to hotel. We'll pass the night. I'm gonna change out this Joy-Con. Curse myself. Is this one worse?
What do you mean?
I think this one's worse. Okay, no, we're good. I think, maybe. We might be good. I was walking along a canal side in Venice when I found myself in the midst of a group of revelers. They wore a fabulous array of masks, some beak-nosed, some brightly feathered, and some spun of fine glittering wire.
Bow and greeting. Trying to make Passport here the most extroverted person I could never be. Video games allow you to express all sorts of fantasies, like being a badass space marine or an extrovert.
I bowed in greeting and gave them such a surprise that one tripped, turned, and then tumbled into the canal. Her friend seemed drunkenly unconcerted and fell about in a peal of laughter as the woman cursed and thrashed in the dark water. I dove to the rescue. I shook my head in despair. Will you not help her? Well,
Let's get fucking soaked.
Yeah, if we're playing gallant. Reaching her in a few strokes. Zutalor! The water was cold. She kicked and fought as I hauled to her to the nearby flight of steps. Fiammetta is a daughter of the canal, one of her friends put it. You should have left her in it. Another drunken youth agreed. It's the only time she bathes. Fiammetta coughed and choked as I hauled her from the water. I looked her over, or I averted my eyes tactfully.
Look her over. We gotta make sure she didn't break nothing.
Her mask was long gone and her fine clothes ruined, but her eyes gleamed. Who are you, she demanded, seeming to see me for the first time. Her friends made various kissing noises and suggested a variety of improbable roles for me. A clown, one said. No, another interjected. An agent of the Pope. Yet another added, sotto voce.
Sotto voce.
Fiammetta's foreign lover, which caused them all to laugh, as Fiammetta cursed them with an admirable thoroughness.
So do you want to... I kind of want to lean in.
With Are You Alright?
No, with I introduced myself with a bow.
Oh, we could...
Lean in even more.
Oh, yeah, bowing is nothing if not leaning. the effect only a little ruined by the dripping. Passepartout, at your service. And what manner of creature are you, Signor Passepartout? She demanded. Valet, a traveler, a gentleman of the world.
Gentlemen of the world. I really like that we are, we're on this adventure with fog, and we are,
Trying to make ourselves the most with fog, yeah?
Yes.
Very well dressed for a vagrant, she replied archly. Her friends laughed and I bristled.
I think you are very rude is more like witty repartee.
I observed. I do not mind Fiammetta, her friends remarked softly. She is angry because of her work and because of what happened to her brother. Work or brother?
Brother is extremely dramatic.
Sophos happened to him, Fiammetta interjected, scowling. And now that blasted Greek has joined with the school,
What did Sophos do to your brother?
She turned her face slightly and dropped her voice. I do not want to talk about it. She spat into the canal. Patua! If you chance to take the airship from Rome to Athens, you might meet Signor Sophos. Put a knife in his heart before he takes yours.
I will give him your love.
I promised ambiguously. Fiammetta laughed darkly, and one of her friends took her arm. Leave such thoughts for another night, he advised, pulling her away. I returned to Monsieur Fogg, still somewhat damp.
If we ever actually see him, we've got to knife his ass, right?
Yeah. Okay. We can depart Athens. We could go to Athens if we wanted to. Do you want to go to Athens?
I'm thinking...
So we can go to Athens, or we can either sort of keep exploring and try to go to Sophia.
Let's hit Athens. I like a classic city of...
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe not.
Oh.
I mean...
See, I saw that danger and was excited by it. But a good night's travels get us there good as well. And I think we'll leave Italy next time on Let's Play.